Welcome to the September 12th membership meeting for Play Club. And I would like to establish a quorum. We do have a quorum. Deb is out of town. She'll be returning October 1st. So Norma will read her numbers. Do I hear a motion to approve the June 13 minutes?
Not approved.
We got Clara.
I'll
Second.
Boom. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. First, I'd like to introduce our new replacement for Shauna and first VP, Ron Pomeretta. Thank you, Ron, for taking on those responsibilities. We really appreciate it. Okay, before I get going in the meeting this morning, Mike Deal had something he would like to cover, and he has to run off at 9:30, so I'm going to turn over to him real quick.
Yay, Mike. Have to fix that.
I know, I was thinking.
Okay, can you hear me? You know, with the elections coming up, I got to thinking, oh, what do you want me to do? Oh, I'm getting direction here.
Thank you.
With the elections coming up, I got to thinking about our officers. And I got to looking at the bylaws, and one thing that caught my eye is that the officers are limited to a 3-year term, and then they have to stop. They can't be elected unless they take a year off, and then they can do it again. But that seemed like an interesting limit. I scratched my head over that. You know, I joined the wood shop a couple of years ago, and the first thing I did was read their bylaws, and their bylaws allow you to go for 10 years. And in fact, that's why I was thinking 20. Anyway, you know, I thought at first it was a rec center thing, but when I read the woodshop bylaws, I realized that it wasn't. It was really driven by the club membership at the time when the bylaws were put together. So I got to thinking 3 years and then taking a year off seemed like a limiter. Now, it doesn't require you to, as a person, to continue on in the role of an officer. You can choose to drop out at any time. But to limit it to 3 years seemed like an unnecessary restriction. So what I'm interested in proposing is that we make it 6 years.
Yay!
Yay
For that.
And that's arbitrary too, but it just seems like a better number. It gives us a little more breathing room. And if you have a person who wants to continue on for more than 3 years, they're not limited. And we're not going to twist your arm. So, you know, it's really up to you. Now, the bottom line is, you still have to be elected.
Yes.
All right? So, it doesn't seem like there's any real risk in this. My proposal is that we change a couple of words in the bylaws to just make it allowable to be elected for 6 one-year consecutive terms. And then you have to take a year off. Of course, the treasurer can keep going. They're not limited by this as a result of the changes to the bylaws we made a month or so ago. And anyway, that's it. So give some thought to that. I would propose that we do that. And what I'm doing today is throwing it out there so we can begin the process of doodling on it and figure out what we want to do next. Betty?
Ron, I'm just wondering, what was the reason for making it 3 to begin with? There must have been a good reason.
That's a good question. The question was, why did we make it 3 years to begin with?
We had a gentleman that was the president, and he wanted to do it 3 years, so he held a summer meeting when everybody was gone and had it voted in to extend it to 3 years.
That sounds like a very good reason.
What was the logic?
He wanted to do it again.
Oh,
It was 2 years, and it's always been 2 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you can't step out I was an officer once, and I'll tell you what, it's not an easy job, and when you're president, it's even worse. And nobody deserves 6 years of that. I mean, it's the from everybody. It's a hard job. They have meetings to attend to all the time. They don't get playtime. I see where you're going with it, but we need to, if you do it, you need to have up to, not a 6 year.
You don't have to do it. It's totally voluntary. It's totally, I know 6 years seems like a long time, but it's totally voluntary.
But
I don't
also as a member, you know, you get people in there that are not appropriate.
That's why you're voting.
No. Yes, I
Oh,
know.
okay, let's get going again here. So, Betty.
There's one thing to remember is, even if, Noreen brought this up, even if you do it for 6 years or for 10 years, they still have to be voted in every year.
That's right.
So at that time, it's changed.
So Betty's point is, regardless of how this reads, you still have to be voted in every year. And that really is the basic protection in all of this wording.
I second your motion.
I think too, in order to do that, there's a lot of times there's long-term plans that we have that we're trying to work with. And if you're out this year, this coming year, and you're in the middle of this long-term plan you've been working on, now you don't have the ability to be the officer to finish that long-term plan, and you gotta hope that the next one takes the ball and moves on.
Right.
So being able to extend that a little bit might help the long-term plan stuff.
So extending planning to a longer term with some consistency is a good point. All right, that's all I have, thanks. Oh, go ahead.
What does it take to make this change?
Well, it takes two, I'll let her speak to that.
It's the same process.
Well, we have updated the bylaws already this year, as you know, they've already been voted on. With a one-off like this, it would take a vote of this group. We do have a quorum, and if the majority would like to see it added to or modified in the bylaws, then we would write it up, send it over to the rec center, see if we get their approval, and then it would be out for a vote of the entire club electronically. But it does mean that nobody has to stay 6 years. No, yeah, it just gives the option, and that's a good point. If you're in the middle of something big that needs to be completed, then you have the ability to do it. Yes, Norma.
Can I make a motion? I make a motion that we extend it to 6 years, 1 year term, each voted in, each year has to be voted, the officer has to be voted in, but can stay in office for up to 6 years.
Noreen just made a motion that we vote again 6 years, and seconded by Betty.
Another question?
I have a question.
She has a
question.
We have a question.
My question was, currently, at the end of 3 years, you have to take a year off and then you can come back. Is that still in play?
For the 6 years?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to
Okay,
take a
I'm
year
just-
off after 6.
After 6.
And not after 3.
I just wanted to know if that was still in play.
I don't like the current board. If you were to, as it stands now, or by law, if you were to decide, well, next year I'm going to do VP, and then I can start president again and switch places. I know of clubs that have done that, and the board stayed there forever. I know you would love to. But anyway, is that in ours?
That is not in ours. Ours is written right now that you have a 3-year maximum. You sign on for 1 year. That's all you're obligated for. 3-year maximum, you take a 1-year break, then you can come back at whatever position you want to come back at. What Mike's proposing is just that it is pretty much exactly the same, with the exception of the years being pushed out to 6 years. and you are voted on every position except for treasurer. Well, even treasurer is voted on every year. We've already extended the treasurer. Okay, a motion and a second.
Maureen had a motion, I didn't have a second.
I thought Betty seconded.
Betty Cool.
Betty, cool?
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, by a raise of hands, how many people would like to see this modified?
Oh, boy.
What the heck?
But ask for no's, it'll be easier.
Okay, how many no? How many say no, don't modify? 2 people said no.
Three. Or
3.
Okay, so we will go ahead and take that forward to the rec center, see what their thoughts are, if we're just modifying one more thing to our bylaws. If that passes, we will let you all know, and we will we have to have it posted for 25 days. And then we will send it out electronically so everybody can vote on it. Okay, thank you.
Effective when, Lynn? When, assuming you get it all done in November, because it's still be able to be effective.
If we got it done in November, it would be effective after the vote, after the vote closes.
For the next election. It would be in time for the next election.
Yeah, 'cause that's
Yes.
So we could extend you guys to 6 years.
Why do I feel like I have shackles around my neck? Okay, I'm going to try and clip through some of this. I have a lot to say today because I've had a lot of people come to me over the summer. The biggest, I think, most important thing we have right now is we're having problems in the kiln. And the problem is we are making much larger pieces than we have in the past. Some very oversized pieces. And when people are asked to help to load the pieces, some of the comments are, I have a bad back, I can't do that. Well, keep in mind that our kiln people are 70 to maybe 82, 84, and some of them are a little tiny, like our little special one over here. But some of them are very small stature, and they cannot be expected to lift this weight. We are working on a policy right now with the kiln team, and they do have right now and will continue to have the right to say, I can't load it. If you want this loaded, you can load it.
Perfect.
Now, another piece to that is we cannot dedicate a full kiln to somebody's great big piece. Okay? I know we have some pieces that are large sitting there right now, and we'll have to work through those. And if you have questions on size or whatever, I'm going to kind of give you the limits we're setting. But Odette has agreed to be the answering board for that. She can talk to you if you have a question, you're building something, she'll tell you what the limitations are and remind you what you need to do. And you will be loading that piece. We don't allow people outside of the club to come in and help you load it because our kilns are very expensive. You take a risk of knocking some of the bricks and breaking them, taking out a coil, and they're expensive. And Mike wouldn't like that very well. So what is being proposed, and likely to be so, is a 15-pound weight limit. That's your greenware.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And that will likely require help in loading. But some of the pieces we have right now are in excess of 35 pounds. So we cannot expect our kiln loaders to be loading that. It's hard enough on your back going up and down, loading and unloading. Okay, so there will be a 50-pound weight limit. Anything over 15-pound weight limit. 15-pound weight limit. And oversized and fragile pieces, you may be asked, even if it's just a fragile piece, you may be asked to load it. Along with that, we have the size limit. And that will be, 18 wide. And
Wow.
That's the widest it can be, because the kiln's, what, 24?
21.
21.
Half a shelf is 21.
Okay, half a shelf is 21, so an 18 wide just is enough to scoot your hands down there, and imagine lifting that way down into the bottom of the kiln, okay? And with that, we had a height, I'm sitting here trying to look at this, and I don't have my glasses on, so I'm just pretending. It's, if it's 18 wide, I believe it's 13 high.
Okay.
13? Or 15? Yeah, okay, and if it's 23 high, it can only be 13 wide. So what that is the 23 inches as tall as you can get into the kiln. You cannot take a whole kiln. So we will allow a 13-inch pot, 13 wide, 23 high, that's fine. Or 18 wide, I think it was 13 high, it might have been 15, I'll double check. But there are going to be limits on size. Yes, Joe?
Would you post
Yeah.
that, those measurements next to where we measured? So
Yes,
people,
and-
if they're in doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. The kiln team has already made a big voice about, we need to post this, we'll put exactly the size regulation once the policy is completed. It's still in the rough draft, it's looking pretty good, and we hope to have it done within the next week. Yes, Barb?
I just have a question for Odette, just curious, not complaining, not questioning your rule. Why, if you can go 18 wide, you can't go 18 tall, you can only go 15?
What is the reason? Because of the
Takes too much.
whole kiln space.
Oh, would that take up the whole film?
Well,
Or half?
there's 300 and some people in the club.
No, I
mean,
get
you have
that.
to, you know.
But if you're taking up a whole shelf.
I'm thinking we said 15 inches high
Probably the
rather than 13 high. And has to do with how much space is left to fill out the kiln. We've got to have room for other people. Again, it's like,
That license it out for different sizes.
Right.
I was just curious. I have
Okay.
a question.
yes,
Small kill outside, right?
Little Audrey?
Yeah, it's like 4 cubic footer, the little one.
Yeah.
Why don't we just put a flat rate on it?
there is.
Oh, it is, how much?
15, I believe.
$15 now.
$15 for the whole kill?
Yes. Yeah, for little Audrey.
You have to be here, you have to be here and change the thing every hour.
Why?
It's not pre-programmed.
Yeah, it's got a hill sitter in it. Huh?
We just put the cones in, right?
No.
Okay, you can discuss that with Odette away from the meeting. Let's not get down into that. But yes, you can buy the whole kiln of Little Audrey for $15 per file. Okay. Now, the other option is, first off, the people who have things made that are drying right now, Odette's gonna work with you and talk to you, and you gotta figure out friends or in the club or whatever to help you load it. But going forward, if you think you're even close, have a discussion with Odette, because we gotta take care of our people. I thank all of you who are working in the kiln. I know it's hard on your back, and we wanna preserve you and our kilns. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, we have a new clay that is B112. If you haven't tried it, I suggest maybe you do. It's $20 a bag, and it handles very nice and fires very close to the speckled buff, but it's smoother finish. It doesn't have that real rough finish on it. So you might want to give that a try.
What's it called again?
B112.
B112,
Is it white?
it's brown. It's like speckled buff.
Like a buff.
Okay, just a quick reminder, make sure you wipe off your wear boards. Do not take items out of the tote that are meant for the Air Force Base. That seems to be an ongoing issue. I know. But, you know, some people want to use them for, if they're just would like to use them to do samples on glazing. We can't do that. This is a benefit for the Air Force Base, and people who dedicate those want them to go to that. So please don't take any out of it. Okay, when using a wheel, you don't have to unplug the wheel. Just please turn off the wheel when you're done. Monitors, please make sure that all the wheels are off at night. Do not unplug them.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And we have been missing some items, and I'm hoping that maybe some people have taken them home to work at home. The items that belong to the club belong in the club. Please don't take them home anymore, and if you have them, please bring them back. We're missing some of the gecko mold, some lizards, turtles, different things like that. So if you have them and you borrowed them, please return them so that other people can use them. Also, the items in the back room that belong to beginning hand building, please leave them back there. There have been some templates that have been walked off with as well. Okay. So, anyway, I know a lot of times it's not intentional. People, especially new people, don't realize that the things have to stay here, our molds have to stay here. And I've caught people before, on their way out say, hey, did you know that needs to stay here? And they didn't know that. So it can be an honest thing that happens. One more thing, who was asking me about this? I think it was Christine Deal. We are going to be doing a directory online. This directory will be name and phone number only. We do not publish any addresses at all. So we'll have name and phone number, and it's possible, once Linda's got all the kinks worked out of it, that if you choose to put your picture on it, you can. We will not, as a club, do that. But you have that option to do it if you want to do it, okay? And I have got to play with it a little bit, and it's fantastic. It's going to be nice if you're looking for your monitors tomorrow, and you can pull their phone number up right there instead of digging through the book. Okay? Any comments on that? Yes?
Is that an opt-in?
It won't be an opt-in, but you can't get into it if you are not a member. Only members can get into it, only for a phone number. So it's pretty much the same as looking it up in the book without having to do that.
I promise I won't come to any more meetings.
I don't believe it.
I just want to throw this out. I don't want to put everybody's phone number in my phone, and I don't answer the phone if you're not in my phone.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to keep that in mind if you're trying to contact somebody. A lot of us don't do that. Always leave a message and tell them
Yes,
you're in the
yeah.
fight club. Otherwise, you'll think they just don't want to call you or something. But, yeah, I
Good
just
point. Yeah.
can't say no to the
Yeah.
scammers, so.
Same thing if you text. It'd say, like I would say, this is Debbie Manchester from the Clay Club. Otherwise, it gets ignored.
That's true, yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and I would probably ignore it if I didn't have the name printed out there. Okay, does anybody have concerns about that?
What are the chances that either someone in the club or some hacker gets into it and gets all of our numbers? I find my phone number to be mine, and I give it to who I want. I'd rather have my email out there because I have more control over it.
Good question. First off, I'm not concerned about hackers. We have a pretty strong security system. Yeah, so does the government, yeah. It's not impossible, but that's why we don't put any addresses or anything like that. What I will talk to Linda about, and I think is an option, Debbie Manchester just brought it up, can we opt out? And I think we can. So I would think we would implement it as long as there is that option for those that don't want their phone number out there, not to be in
I will
it.
give it to, when I monitor, I don't mind giving it to them to call me, but I'm not sure I want 300 people, of which I don't know many of them, to have access to my phone.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that you're not alone. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So the numbers are in there.
have a book, yeah.
It's already there.
And that's what I was going to say, is that right now, there is a book with all of your numbers in it. So if someone really wanted to do it, they would just make a copy of those pages. And I don't think any of us are into that kind of stuff. I just don't, but with the ability to opt out, if that's what you want. But then keep in mind, then, you might be hard to get in contact with.
And you can always block a number.
That's right.
On your phone, you can always block a number.
Mine block, I have it set up to block if you're not in my contacts. That's why it's a good idea to to leave a message, because mine goes quiet. If it's
Yeah, mine
not,
too. Mine too.
Mine just.
yeah, it goes quiet, it does not, it comes through as potential spam, and then I can check it if they've left a message. If they haven't, then I don't know who it is, so.
Okay. Okay, so overall, do you think this is a worthwhile thing to add?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I will talk to Linda about that, see if we can do an opt-out before we make any
I
final
was gonna say.
decisions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that would be probably the safest way. If people don't wanna have it in there, then they can say,
I believe you should have the
just the name
choice.
and, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so let's kick it along here. Norma, do you have Deb's treasurer report?
Deb's not here.
I think you're going to like this. I pulled up something from the last meeting in June. And as of that date, we had earned $1,115 on CDs.
nice.
As of, when we started this in March 9th, 23, we now have earned, just in interest, $3,170.02. Oh, yes, yes.
How much is in the accounts?
We started with a 10,000, a 20, and a 20. So now we have a total, she didn't total it, darn it, okay. 24.
Okay, just curious.
About $53,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're in 3 separate ones, so if we ever have to take something out of one account, it wouldn't affect the interest on the other accounts.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep it in for the full length to get your interest, okay? All right, so, that's it.
Okay, Ron, I won't put you on the spot. You don't have to say anything. If you'd like to, go for it.
Hi. I just got back from vacation last night, so I'll be buying clay and tools, and I don't know what else I'll be doing, so there you have it.
Thank you, Ron. Really appreciate you being here. Okay, Linda Halliday. You got some stuff for monitoring and...
I have to talk back into this, right? Okay, currently we have 369 members. We have 32 distinguished members, so if anybody out there is over 80, you can let me know and I can put you in as being distinguished. Medical, we have 27 people on medical right now. And with full-time members is 227 people, and part-time members is 142.
What do you mean part-time?
No,
meaning
snowbirds.
snowbirds. They're
Yeah.
still members.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, snowbirds.
Full-time and snowbirds.
Right. I was looking at people that are on committees. We have a total of 80 people on committees, and 20 of these are leads. So some of these people are exempt with, they get in their monitoring hours, they do service hours instead of the monitoring, so. And also, all the people that are here all year round, summertime is the best time to monitor. It's easy, the club is very quiet, and soon we're gonna have people coming back and they're gonna be scrambling to get all their 4 times in, so just, if you need your time right now before everybody comes back, would be great. I don't think I have anything else. We do have quite a few spots open in September. The 17th, we have an 8 to 12 and a 12 to 4 that need to be filled. And the 20th, we have a spot, and 21st also. So look and see if you need your monitoring hours, and please sign up.
Okay, one thing I will add to that real quick is I've been talking with Donna and the board, and we're considering, we have people who are on temporary medical, and we have people who are permanent medical. And what we're looking at is each year you're going to have to renew if you're a temporary medical. Permanent medical, you're done. You're taken care of. Distinguished members, you're taken care of. But temporary medical is going to be something that is likely to have to be updated each year. Let us know where you are with your illness or what it may be. Okay, next up is Norma. Anything to say for education?
Hi. I just got back last night too, so we're all here. Yeah. Nothing much really to say. I know Thursday afternoons with Laura and the different teachers went very well this year. We always were just some. But as far as the getting hand building and what are we doing now? Wednesday morning fun. I'll let you guys talk about it.
I just have two things on the beginning handle. You can hear my voice.
Can't hear it.
I have two things with beginning hand building. One is, remember, we are requesting to have volunteers for the teacher assist program for the beginning hand building class, and you get 4 monitoring credits for that 4 days of teacher assist. So you get the whole year covered for your monitoring in those 4 days for teacher assist. Thank you for the board for doing that. We have got it booked through June already of next year. I will be posting the rest of the second half of the year. So if you're interested in doing it, it's a fun time. Everybody that has done teacher assist has had a blast. So it's really a fun thing to do.
So you get all your years?
Yes, you get your full year monitor credits, all 4 of them for the teacher assist.
I didn't think so. See, even
Yes,
though
you do.
You can do it for one time and get just one lunch.
No, you do all 4. They do 4 hours a day, 4 days a week.
Oh, that's right, 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. You guys approved this, remember?
I just got in last night, remember?
Yeah, so you will get 4 monitoring credits if you do and the thing is you have to do all 4. If you do 2 and you cancel out the other 2 and think on me, you don't get any. So it's an all or nothing kind of thing. And everybody's had a great time. The other thing, I'm toying around with this idea of posting or putting the beginning hand building booklet that is like 46 pages long available to members. It has all the instructions for all the pieces. We make detailed step by step by step by step. It has a huge resource of material that we put out for our new students. And I've had several members say, can we get it? And somebody mentioned this morning, which is a good idea, putting it online so you can download it yourself and print it off yourself if you want. Then I don't have to, then we don't have to do it. So we may look at doing that if people want it on there. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a downer. In doing that, you need to be careful of the patterns that are not included in that book because they'll disappear from the DLS.
Yeah. Well, they won't if we lock them up.
Okay, lock them up.
I mean, yeah, that's because we spent money on beginning hand building, trying to get this program really, really well, and our patterns are really nice patterns, and they need to stay in the beginning hand building Dick Lee Studio. They can't go out of the Dick Lee Studio. So what we may do is we may have a set of patterns at the monitor station that you can sign out to draw on newspaper and make your own patterns. That would be an option, and then you have to sign them back in if you want to use those patterns, if that's something you'd be interested in doing. So I'm all for that. I just want the beginning hand building to still have their stuff because one of our patterns, we're down to the bare minimum and we had 9 originally and now we only have 5. So we lost 4 patterns. They walked off.
And so it's kind of frustrating because you don't want to be an instructor walking in and realizing, shit, you don't have enough patterns for your students.
Shucky darns.
Shucky darns. And it's on video.
Take that, so right.
I was just curious, what's our backlog like right now for beginning hand building?
It's about 75 people, but
That's always, it's always.
always been that way.
It's, yeah, but
We're
it's,
taking about 50 people a year, we lose about 50 people a year. So it's a backlog, and I just don't know what else to say. I mean, we're a hot club.
we have minimum of 75. That also includes all the classes. That doesn't include the classes that we have placed. We have a class of 5 right now. We have classes of 4 all the way through December, through the end of the year. So you can add those people to that 75 number. So we've been running right around 100 total, if you count the test-ins, the ones that are booked and all that.
There's nothing we can do, because if we do more classes, which is then gonna tie up the
Digley studio, so you can't have other classes because we take up so much time. The other thing too is we don't have the space to take in 100 new members. If we take in and do 420 new members, or you have a total of 400, we don't have the space when they all are here to work. So.
Which brings on another item. That was a lead-in, good lead-in. We are currently requesting extra space.
Ooh.
Here's the reason for that. The reason is we cannot house enough people right now, even as we are. When our snowbirds come back, the club is packed. People are coming in and turning around and going home to work or just not working at all. So, I know several of you have had that same thing. So we are in the middle of making that request, getting an expansion, and hopefully with that we won't be so crammed in, we'll be able to have a little more space. We currently have the same amount of space that we had in 2012 with about 120 additional members.
Wow, yeah.
So I've done lots of investigation on it. In fact, it might be a little more than that.
That room in 2012?
2012.
Studio came after that.
No.
Oh.
I'm not a good time space.
Could have been 2010. From what I've been able to research, it looks like it happened in 2012.
Yeah, no, I understand. I joined in 2010. It seemed like forever before we got that room.
No.
I joined
Yes.
in 14 and we didn't have the Dickley studio.
Yes, we did.
doing-
Yes, we did.
No, we were doing classes right out there where all that stuff is being stored right now. Yeah.
Okay. From what I've been able to find, it was not dedicated as Dick Lee in 2012.
It was covered.
But we had the space first, and I don't know specifically exactly. I have gone to many of the longtime people here that were here from beginning or close to it. And the closest date that we've come to it was 2012. So that,
I think it was before that, because I joined in, I think it was 2015 or 2014.
okay,
We were in the-
it doesn't matter if it's 2012 or 2014, it doesn't matter. So even if we say it was 2014, in the last 10 years, we have 120 plus more people in that same space. So we are not able to accommodate everybody who wants to be here working. So that's the intent, is to be able to get us a little bit more space so we're not quite so sandwiched in.
Do they have an idea of how they're going to expand us and where?
I can't answer that right now.
Okay, I didn't know if that was what we were.
That was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is up to properties. They have a lot of things to look at and to go through. So we're just at the beginning stages of this, but just to let you know, hopefully we can get a little bit more elbow room so everybody can come in and work as they'd like to. Any questions?
Hence the long-term projects thing with the.
Yes, that's one of those long-term project things. Okay. Thanks for that, Maureen.
Love you, Lynn.
And Donna, did you have anything to add for membership? For lockers.
Lockers, well, sort of. Just to add to that, we have 370 or 69 members and 290 lockers. We are short lockers. Hopefully with that, that would be really nice to make my job easier. But remember, when you do a locker, if you're new, I don't know how many new ones are in here today, you still need 24 visits as the minimum to keep that locker. All right, I'm going to be after you. No, I heard about you. Telling the beginning hen believe, look how she's going to take your locker away. No. I try to have you keep your locker is really what I'm trying to do. And you still need your 16 service hours. Everybody needs that of some sort. Anyway, that would probably be that.
Great, thank you, Donna. Okay, Mike Deal has gone, so I think he's done his damage for the day. Jude, did you have anything?
I don't.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Mark?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's
Gretchen
good news.
is not here for social. Who's doing social? You're doing social.
Remember, Talk Like a Pirate Day is coming up on September 19th. You will get a prize if you have on pirate gear. And it's also September birthday day. So, also we have happy hour on October 31st. Details to follow. And the holiday party has been rescheduled for December 15th. So.
And just a little kicker about the holiday party.
What?
We are going to have live music at the holiday party this year. So the social club is going to do their magic, and we'll have dinner, and those who want to dance a little bit can dance. Okay, we've covered films. Do you have anything else? No. Okay, thank you. Let's see if there is one. We do have, as you've noticed, we have some new prices on clay. And please bear with us. I know we are out of B-Mix. And we're anticipating getting it in late next week. We have changed vendors. And it saves you $10 a bag.
Wow.
So B-Mix is now $15 instead of $25. So they're still working out the quirks and trying to get the gist of what we are needing. Thank you. Now, you do have the option of going down to Marchand, but it is going to cost you about $25 a bag.
We can't go to the new one, the new vendor?
The new vendor is out. We have taken all that they had. Oh, I will tell you, we have a load of 1,000 that should be coming in. I'm hoping by end of next week. And I've also ordered another 1,000 behind it. So that'll be coming in to fill afterwards. And we have some speckle buff coming in also. And from that point forward, Mr. Ron here will be in charge of that because I don't like playing that game. Doing the best I can here. Let's see, my buckets. Ann Brown's not here today. Anybody have anything from my bucket team?
No, we're good.
You're good? Okay.
Thank you.
And cleaning? Nothing? Okay. All right, and I think, Laura, did you have anything for Shell?
Shop team, we're solid. We're solid. Everybody's been good, and we've had fewer shells this last month, so thank you everyone.
Very good. Way to go, club.
Yeah, we're good.
One thing I would like to mention too is if you are using shards, please don't put them in your lockers, put them back in the drawer so everybody else can use them too. We have tons of shards out there, but we keep coming up short for some reason. So if you are putting them in your locker, please.
My only request is do not throw them away even if they're damaged because we will refurbish them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So don't throw them away. We have a box out on the patio for damaged shards.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, I don't know if everybody heard that, but please don't throw your shards away. The shelf team does clean them up, and there's a box out on the patio for damaged shards. Okay, we have no other unfinished business or new business. Anybody else have questions?
Oh, I don't question anything.
I just have a quick little statement here. I've been telling people, and I'm giving out lockers when they are available. And this can go for everybody, but that clay is pretty heavy, 25 pounds. I was telling Betty, I think it's getting heavier as you get older. Everybody could use a cart. So maybe take your cart, little tidbits. We have carts around. You might have a locker in one room and have to work in another room. Just use the cart. And I think they were being helpful with that. They don't know that they can really use those carts. So, just a little tidbit.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Questions, concerns? Oh, we have an update from Jude. Just a reminder, the parking lot will be closed, our front parking lot that most of us use, Monday, that's next Monday and Tuesday, the 16th and 17th. So you will be allowed to park back by the swimming pool. Then the following 2 days, the 18th and 19th, their lot will be closed, so just expect it to be busy over our way at that time. But we will be open, that won't affect us at all.
Lynn, is that gonna include, back where you would go on alcohol carts? Yes.
I would say yes, it will.
Didn't they just do that?
Not sure what they're doing, quite honestly. I don't know if they're doing a slurry coat or, painting? Okay. Okay, any other questions?
I just have one comment. Does the Wednesday morning fun start soon?
Wednesday morning fun starts
I
last
will
Wednesday?
speak to that. The first one is October 30th with Norma. Norma is going to be doing Terror Bowl. And I've got probably the rest of this year filled. But if anybody wants to do a demo on Wednesday mornings, like we used to do, let me know. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's something that you like. And we appreciate it, so I don't have to keep asking people and making them feel bad. I can't turn that off. So we're not going to have sign-ups this year.
Okay.
It's going to be first come, first serve. Our hours are going to be 8:30 to 11:30. So I suggest you come at 8, and we'll start at 8:30, and we're closing. That means you're putting everything away and being done by 11:30, because there will be 12 o'clock classes coming up. Not every time, but we're just going to have the same time all the time. So any questions on that? I'd like to encourage all the new members to come. Even if you think you aren't as good or not knowledgeable yet, you pick up a lot of hints. Pam is going to be doing ornaments the first one in November. And we all know, and we're doing it thin so that they dry and she can show you glazing and so forth. So anybody got any ideas, let me know, I'm always open. And I was gonna say something about the nominating committee, but at this point, I didn't know that this other little thing was gonna go on. So, I guess we still have to have a nominating committee.
Yes, you do.
So if you're interested in any position, let me know, okay?
And I will add, it really isn't that scary. There's a lot of reward being on the board, and we do have a lot of fun, great camaraderie, and it will work. It's true, it is a lot of fun. Okay, any other questions? None at all. And Betty, we got you. Okay, do I hear oh wait, we got prizes.
Oh, yeah.
Someone want to run me the sheet back up here?
I saw something, there we go. I knew something was there. Good job.
I would run down off but not in public.
We go up to 41.
Number 32.
Daryl.
Woo, Daryl.
Look at my win. Okay.
You're welcome. Okay, so go ahead, another one.
Just a sticker.
18.
Cheryl. Barry.
Hey, Cheryl. Thank you. You bet. Welcome. 3 more guys.
Number 4. No, oh yes, Noreen.
Noreen.
I'm number 5.
Okay, 2 more.
38.
38.
No. She's on the board. She's on the board.
Oh, okay.
Another number.
14.
Odette.
Oh, Dad.
One more.
One more.
23.
Nope. No, Thomas Light, I'm sorry.
Wow, Tom, welcome back. You're winning. All right, do I hear a motion
I move,
to dismiss the meeting?
I move.
Janet,
Janet.
second.
By a farm?
Meeting adjourned.